Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Q&A meeting where we discuss the practice of charity, morality, and meditation according to the teaching of the Buddha. Everyone is welcome to join. If you have any questions, please send them in one at a time. Please be brief and be precise. If this is your first time to join us, please let me know where you come from. And also, please let me know if the audio is okay and the visual is okay. Thank you for joining us. Our first participant is Sammy Rishi. Good morning, Thanajan. Good morning to you, Sammy. Fat Choi Chong, Satu Satu. Gek Yen So, greeting Thanajan. Greeting to you. Mary Ann, Satu Satu. Nanapat Pram Suwong, Namaskara Thanajan. Greetings from Ubon Ratchathani. Sound and video are clear. Thank you. Punami Tan, good day, Pante. May you be well and happy and healthy. Thank you. Guan Mien Lo, Satu, Satu. R1, Satu. Joe Maracon, Satu. Anilam, hi Prajan, is it normal for one to be in Pawanga the entire day? It's probably unusual because Pawanga means a state of calm. Usually it refers to being in jhana if you have mindfulness. If you don't have mindfulness, then it is sleeping. So it's not usual for someone to be in Pawanga the entire day. You don't sleep the entire day, and you don't enter into jhana the entire day either. Sammy Rishi, Thanajan, my mind keeps alternating between my worldly and spiritual goals. I think it's like that because I'm a people pleaser. How to get over that? Well, you have to set up your priority. Right now, you want to enter into the spiritual world, so you have to leave the worldly things behind. So don't try to please everybody right now. You have to please yourself first. So try to stop thinking about other people and think about your practice. After you have finished your practice, then you can think about other people and help other people. You have to decide which is your goal, spiritual or worldly. If it's spiritual, then you have to leave the worldly goal behind. Everything that belongs to the world, you have to leave it alone. And concentrate on your spiritual goal only. Li Wai Leng, Satu. Punami Tan, I Bhante, should a relationship ended without a clear explanation, it is very difficult to accept. How should I accept and overcome it? Thanks. By treating everything as anicca, impermanent, temporary. Things can end anytime. There is no need for explanation. The fact that it is anicca is an explanation in itself already. So everything, whatever start, will have to come to an end sooner or later. Whether end in a way that satisfies you or end in a way that not satisfy. But eventually everything will have to come to an end. All relationship will have to come to an end sooner or later. And it needs no explanation or why or when. It can happen anytime. So the Buddha said keep contemplating on anicca, on everything as being impermanent. Then you will not feel bad when it happens. Lucy Dana, Chitta Sasong, Satu Satu, Ramsa W, Namasagan Prajan. Thank you. Adi Aha, Satu Satu, Chumpu MTR, Satu Satu, Chris Leo, Satu Satu. Gimbunchu, Satu Satu. Gimbunchu, afternoon Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Adeline Chin, good afternoon Tanajan. Good afternoon to you. Chris Leo, Satu Satu. Jintana, Thailand, Satu Satu. Shirley Ko, Satu Satu. Sayak, Olivia, bonjour Tanajan. Bonjour to you, Sayak, from Paris. Sammy Rishi, Tanajan. I'm getting ready to enter a 20-day silent retreat. What's your advice for me? Be mindful all the time. Stay mindful. Stay concentrated or focused on something like a mantra or on your body movement. And meditate and walk meditation. Do sitting and walking meditation. And maybe read some Dhamma books if you have to, if you like. But other than that, don't do anything else. Apart from your essential chores, like eating, washing, bathing, and so forth. Chris Leo, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. the morning star. Good morning, Prajan. Thank you very much for your teaching and a beautiful name. If nothing goes wrong, I will go to offer breakfast dana to Sangha again the day after tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, it took me a little bit to remember who you are, but I remember now. Morning star. Okay, see you a day after tomorrow. Imbunchu, Satu Satu. HNG Chai Heng, Satu Satu. Joyce Ui, good afternoon, Tanajan. Good afternoon to you. Tony Yip, Satu. Corinne Kaur, good afternoon, Ajan, Satu. Lima, Gina, Satu Satu. Handy Box, good afternoon, Ajan. How does one decide and know which tradition is the right one to follow? Thank you. Lots of blessings to Ajan. You have to try them out for yourself, I guess. It's like trying out clothing or pair of shoes. By looking at them, doesn't can give you the answer. You have to put them on. So you just have to try each different tradition, whichever one you feel suitable for you. Sayang Olivia, Tanajan, that's a super practice is to observe the 4 elements, 32 parts of the body, and the body in decomposition. Not the 4 elements, just the 32 parts and the 10 corpses, the 10 different types of corpses. You want to see the unpleasant aspect of the body so that you can eliminate your sexual desire. Because if you see or look at a beautiful body, you can be aroused sexually. But when you see the unpleasant aspect of the body, such as the inner parts of the body, or the body when it turns into a corpse, then your sexual desire will be eliminated. Can you explain me in detail how to put in practice the observation of the 4 elements, the 32 parts of the body, and the body in decomposition? Well, you go into the Satipatthana Sutta, or the 4 foundation of mindfulness. On the part of the contemplation of the body. It teaches you how to see the 32 parts of the body. By naming the 32 parts, from the hair of the head, the nail, the teeth, the skin, and the flesh, the sinew, the bone, and so forth. You look at them and visualize each part clearly, so you see them how they look like. If you don't know how to see it, you can look in an anatomy book to see the inner parts of the body. And if you want to see a corpse, just search for picture of corpse in the internet. Then when you see this picture, you want to keep thinking about this picture until it sinks into your mind, so that you don't need to look at the picture anymore, because every time you look at the body, this picture that sunk into your mind will appear. So you have to memorize this picture until you remember them clearly. Whether you close your eyes or you open your eyes, you see these pictures of the 32 parts or the 10 corpses. Sami Rishi, Tanajan. If I was studying at the Buddhist university for 9 months, then spending 3 months in meditation retreat, would that bring improvement in my practice? I don't think so. I think you should spend 12 months in your meditation retreat because you already know what you need to know to practice meditation. So it's a waste of time studying anything right now because it won't help you in your meditation retreat. The only thing that will help your meditation practice is to spend as much time as possible in the meditation retreat, not coming out of it. Stay there for years and years until you finally achieve your goal before you can come back out. Shayanti Yamada, good morning, Praja. Good morning to you. Morning star, as far as I understand, it's far better to be aware of the daily movement while out of meditation than to recite Bhutto. It's up to you. Some people like to recite Bhutto, some people like to keep watching the bodily movement. It works, it gives you mindfulness, it restrains your mind from thinking about other things. So it's up to you to use Bhutto or to use the body movement. You say because reciting Bhutto may cause the mind to focus too much inward, which may cause accident or produce an incident. Is it correct? That depends on how much you spend your focus on in. So you might have to, if you do something, you also have to be aware of what you're doing. At the same time, you can still recite Bhutto to prevent your mind from slipping away to thinking about something else. So you can try both ways. You can just use the Bhutto alone, or you can use the body movement and with the Bhutto together, or just the body movement alone. In spite of that, beginner whose mind must be defiled with flood of emotional feeling were given advice from you to recite Bhutto. Please kindly correct me if I'm wrong. You have to try it out yourself, which method works for you. If you don't think Bhutto works for you, then just stay focused on your body movement. But your mind can still think about this and that. If it does think about something else, then you should also use Bhutto to stop it from thinking. You have to try it out for yourself. Terishi, good morning and afternoon. Soon in Thailand, Thanajan Suchan. May you have a long and healthy life. May you be well and happy always, Thanajan. Thank you. Tony Yip, dear Thanajan, good afternoon. Wish you be well and happy. I have a question. A Sotapanna person, does he or she already practice on it full path or just want to start practice only? Hope that Ajahn can explain it. Thanks very much. Usually you have to be on the Eightfold Path before you can become a Sotapanna. Aye, Namaskar, Thanajan. Nudge TW, Nut TW, Sadhu Ajahn. Ali Hassan, good day, Thanajan. Akash Ketan, Namaskar, Ajahn. I am trying to follow your advice. Thank you for supporting us. You're welcome. Johanna Lee, good afternoon, Thanajan. If mindfulness is developing, you see all things are always rising and ceasing, repeating and again, just like that. nothing to cling on. Is it correct? Yes. When you cling on to something, when they disappear, you can be sad. You can be disappointed. Alvin Lee, good afternoon, Tanajan. Greetings from KL. Sadhu, sadhu. Kim Song Ma, sadhu, sadhu. Hasana Chuna Sevi. Good morning, Venerable Ajahn. I can still maintain calm, peaceful, and happy in my mind. So I will intentionally do more Magga to eliminate my defilement. Thanks very much for your kindly Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. Sayak Olivia, indeed Asubha is a visualization meditation. And if I understand correctly, I can choose either the 32 parts of the corpse in decomposition. Is that same goal? That's right. It's up to you which one you would like to use. The goal is to eliminate your sexual desire, because when you think about this part, this body part, this corpse, your sexual desire can diminish or disappear completely. Saint NZ, Sadhu Pajan. I have a few people I don't like. I don't hold grudges or want to do harm to them at all. All I do is just ignore and avoid associating with them whatsoever. Is this the okay thing to do? Do I have to force myself to like them? I feel more at peace to not associate with them. I'm an extreme introvert. I like to be alone in peace. Even with people I like, I don't meet them often, just when necessary. Only, does this mean my heart has no compassion? It just means you want to avoid people because you like to be alone more. But in real practice, sometimes you cannot avoid people. Sometimes you have to meet them. When you meet them, then you should either use loving kindness or compassion, depending on the case. If they need help, you should help them. If they want to be friendly to you, you should show friendliness toward them. If they don't want to be friendly with you, then you can use equanimity. So the goal is to have equanimity and not have any love or hate for anybody. But you can still show loving kindness toward everybody, even though when you don't have love or hate inside yourself. So it depends on the situation. If you're alone, then you don't have to do anything. But when you're meeting people, then you either have to have compassion if they need help, or or friendliness, just to show that you're friendly, that you don't hate them. That's the point. But if you cannot show any compassion or show any loving kindness, then just use equanimity. Just do nothing, say nothing. Juliana U, Sadhu, super. Kim Jack, dear John, may you be well and thank you for today's talk. Even though I have constantly reminded myself to stay mindful whenever I'm faced with a competitive situation, the first thing that appears in my mind may be to win at all costs. And it's only through using the Chan Buddha will the idea subside. My question is, why do this sort of thought appear so naturally? And how do we stop them from even arising? Thank you again. Well, it's your nature. I guess your past life has been trained to think like this. So you keep thinking like this. The only way to do it is to use mindfulness. To start it with mindfulness, such as reciting Bhutto Bhutto. Then you can use wisdom later on by teaching yourself that everything is impermanent, everything is temporary. Everything that you win, you will lose in the end anyway. Nobody wins and takes their trophy with them when they go. So contemplate on impermanent, on anicca, on everything being temporary. Winning or losing is temporary. When you die, you lose everything, whether you win or you lose. Ali Hassan, Ajahn, is mindfulness is an effort or as a result of practicing focus in one point, such as breath. It is both. You have to put in an effort to be mindful. But after you have practiced it long enough, it becomes natural. Chaya, CH, Rajan, while meditating, you may feel different raptures. Body spinning, energy movement inside the body, swaying like sitting in a boat, head pressure, etc. Is it normal that we still feel those after meditating? Not after meditation. You might feel it a little bit afterward, but eventually it will have to disappear. They don't last forever. Everything is temporary. Please advise how to stop this sensation by using mindfulness, by reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Sayak Olivia, I understand that a super practice stops our sexual desire, but having a wife, I must continue to have sexual relations with my wife. Is this practice compatible with a secular life? No. It's more for holy life, for monks, for people who keep the 8 precepts or more. But for people who just keep the 5 precepts, they don't need to use this unless they want to become unfaithful to their wife and be attracted to another woman. Then you can use the supa to stop this attraction toward other women except your wife. With your wife, you have to look at her as beautiful. But with the other women, you should look at them as a supa. Then you can be faithful to your wife to the end of your life. I.e., Tanajan, when I meditate, sometimes my body moves back and forward continuously. It means you don't have mindfulness. If you're mindful, your body will be still. So you have to bring mindfulness back. You have to recite Bhutto, Bhutto, or keep watching your breath. Don't do anything without mindfulness. When I watch the movement, it suddenly stops. But when I ignore the movement, it still moves till it stops at the end. Is it my meditation wrong? What should I do, Tanaja? I just say, you don't have mindfulness. You need to be mindful all the time of your breathing or your mantra. Don't sit without doing any of this. You either keep reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto, or keep watching your breath. Don't sit and do nothing. Because when you don't do anything, then your mind can slip into dream-like state, and then your body will move. Sunny Lim, good day, Ajahn Suchat. Thanks so much. You're welcome, and good day to you. By the way, I just wonder whether this Q&A meeting is useful to you enough to continue, or you think I can stop, take a break. Please let me know of your opinion about this Q&A meeting that we have regularly. Should I continue or should I stop and maybe take a break and come back on and off from time to time? Please let me know, because the reason why I do this is because for those people who might have some questions and they don't know where to ask or who to ask, then at least they can come in here and ask me. But if there's nobody really need to ask me any question, then maybe I can stop this Q&A meeting. I might do it not as regular as I'm doing now, maybe once a month or something like that. Please let me know. Please give me your opinion. Whether I should continue on doing as I am doing now, or I can do less of it, maybe once a month or twice a month or something like that, or not at all, because you can also join me in the Zoom meeting on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Thailand time. Please let me know your opinion. Nabiti Namasakan Ajahn. Eli Hassan, very useful Ajahn. Thank you. Ui Po Hua Satu. Po Tin Ui, very useful. Thank you. Okay. Two positive opinions so far. Chaya CH, it's very useful session. Ajahn, mostly I don't watch live, but I watch them later. Thank you. Eli Hassan, keep on teaching us, please, Tan Ajahn. Stay close to us with the Dhamma. You are welcome. Sayak Olivia, you said observing the four elements is different from a super practice. How do observing the four elements? What advice can you give me? The four elements is the basic building blocks of the body. See? You want to see the body as being just made up of the four elements. There is no self, no body in this body. It's just a composition of the four elements. You breathe in the air element, the wind element. You bring in the earth element through your eating of your food. You bring in the water element by drinking, and you bring in the fire element through the heat of the sun. So this is what you contemplate to see the anatta nature of the body. There is no self in the body. The body has no self. The body is just like a tree. Okay? It's like a tree. There's no self. You are not in the body. The body is just the body is just like a tree. No self, no spiritual in the body. The spiritual part of us is not in the body. It's separated. It's just only connected to the body, but not part of the body. So think of the body as like a tree. The tree needs the four elements to grow and to exist. So is the body. And one day these four elements will have to separate, go their separate ways. That's when the body die and decompose. Po Tin Ui, very useful Ajahn. Sammy Rishi, I'm very happy when you go online, so I hope you keep doing this meeting, Tan Ajahn. Okay, good to hear this. So sometimes I wonder if I'm here, if I'm useful for you or not. If I'm useful, then I'll be glad to be here. Check Lin Tan. I find this Q&A meeting very useful, dear Tan Ajahn. I always look forward to it. Thank you. Kenneth Tan Keep greeting Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Thank you. Terence T.H. This is a very useful session. Appreciate your effort very much in teaching us. Thank you. Ayi, very useful, Tan Ajahn. Thank you. Prabhu Patimo Govind. I love it so much, Venerable Master, and thanks for the live Q&A. Thank you. Ali Hassan, we are waiting for you for the teaching regularly every Sunday at about the same time or 1/2 hour late, depends. Tan Ajahn, please keep on visiting us online. Please don't be away. We need your teaching. We need the Dhamma to lead us to liberation. Thank you very much. Thank you to know that I'm still needed. Pasana Junasevi, very useful and give motivation to do practice. Prajan, thank you. Vichai Ku, Ajahn, your talk is very inspiring and please continue. Most of us may not watch live, but we will listen later part of the day. Thank you. You're welcome. Johanna Lee, some people might find this Q&A session more comfortable to ask questions. So please continue this session, Ajahn. Okay, glad to know that. Maybe people don't like to appear in person. They would rather send in the comment. That's understandable. And they have time to think when they type their comment. As when they talk, sometimes they might not have enough time to think properly. Adeline Chin, we find the Q&A very useful and helpful. We look forward to listening and learning weekly. However, if Tan Ajahn needs to take a break, we will understand. Thank you. If I need to take a break, I'll let you know ahead of time. Or if not, if I don't appear, it means I need a break. So, but usually if I'm not busy, if I'm not sick or something, I will try to appear at this time regularly. Lina, Gina, very useful Ajahn Mahasatu for your teaching and Q&A answers. I'm learning a lot from your session. May Ajahn always be healthy and live long happily. Thank you. Nandapan, this Q&A meeting very useful, Tan Ajahn. Thank you. Cornell Kennedy, Wanda Mi Ajahn. Why Buddha said women are wicked? Is that apply to all women? What else Buddha said about women? I don't know. I cannot comment on what the Buddha said about women. I think women can become an impediment for the men, for the monks, because women have this tendency to arouse sexual desire in the monks. Like in Thailand, we have cases of monks have sexual relationship with women, and eventually get caught and had to be disrobed. But I think there are good virtue on women also. But I didn't go into the study in detail, so I cannot comment on this part of the question. Morning Star, thank you very much for your clarification. Continuous question. Anyhow, I still have doubt. Please kindly help to clarify. I have great faith in following the four foundations of mindfulness. If I am aware of bodily movement during daily activity, I am sure that I am following Kaya Kata Sati, which is the teaching number 1, contemplation of the body. But if I recite Bhutto, would you please help explain in which of the four foundations that I'm following? Thank you very much, Ajahn. The contemplation of Bhutto or the recitation of Bhutto isn't contained in the four foundations of mindfulness, but is one of the 40 Kammatthana or object of mindfulness. We call Buddhanusati. Instead of Kaya Kata Sati, this is Buddhanusati, reciting the name of the Buddha or the quality of the Buddha. It's called Buddhanusati, using the quality or the name of the Buddha as the object of mindfulness. Even though it's not contained in the four foundations of mindfulness and can be used in place of the Kaya Kata Sati if you like. Tony Yip, dear Tanajan, good afternoon. Just now I went to a Buddha Sri Lanka style temple to do Sanghadana, food offering. At the end of the session, when I rejoiced sadhu 3 times, my eye tears was dropped down, and I feel very happy. Sadhu, sadhu. That's one of the reasons for doing dana. It gives you joy, gives you rapture, gives you contentment, gives you peace of mind. Rusli Alam Saya, Namaskar Ajahn. Enilam Sadhu Sadhu. One Vimon, Sadhu Ajahn. Anna Goldman, good afternoon, Tanajan. Thanks for your explaining about the Dhamma. You're welcome. Jeffrey Scott White, Sadhu Sadhu. Johanna yes, please take a break whenever Ajahn need to. We need your Dhamma and we need Tanajan to be well and healthy. Also to learn from your long run. I myself benefit and improve a lot from your teaching. Thank you for your comment. Kim made sure, with deep respect, gratitude, and humility, we Tanajan for you here for us to guide, teach, and your presence bring happiness. May all be well, happy, and peaceful. Thank you. Penny Box. Live Q&A made us feel the direct connection with Ajahn in the triple gem and the triple gem. Grateful to Ajahn, our Guru. You are welcome. Patricia Chan Ajahn, stay safe and healthy always. It's raining right now, so it might sound a little. I might sound a bit louder because I have to compete with the sound of the rain. Just let me know if you can still hear me okay. Sayat Olivia, this session is very important. We need your teaching. For example, when I read the Satipatthana Sutta, I need explanation because it is not always clear. Without your answer and explanation, I might have a bad understanding. Please continue this session. Thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. It's very good to hear of your opinion, so I know that without doing things okay for you or not. Here's our greeting, Ajahn. Greetings to you. Yes, thank you. We hear you okay, Ajahn. Thank you. Nandatan, dear Ajahn, we understand if Ajahn would like to take a break. We hope Ajahn be well and healthy. It's okay. I'm not thinking about taking a break. I'm just thinking whether I'm still useful or not, that's all. I don't want to continue on doing something that is not useful to you. But if I'm still useful and help you in your practice, then I'm always happy to do it. Chaya, I can hear you just fine, Ajahn. But the sound of the rain is quite loud. Must be very heavy rain. Yes, it's not very heavy, but it's heavy. Three times. Ajahn, this Q&A session is very useful. It gives us, it gives me inspiration to continue practicing Dhamma and mindfulness. Thank you for your opinion. Beyond meditation, I can still hear and understand your word. Thank you. Parents PhD, Hi Anajan. Next Sunday, May 15th, is Visakha Day. In your opinion, what's the best way to celebrate this meaningful day? Just practice the three, practice dana, charity, morality, keeping the precept, and meditation, bhavana. Practice dana, sila, and bhavana. This is the best way to honor the Buddha, to give respect to the Buddha, by Patipat Puja. Sutta Varua, Mandam Bhante, Sadhu Sadhu. Today the image of the screen seems much clearer than before. I'm not sure whether because it's my internet connection or if it's the same with your connection or not. But to me, today I look much clearer than before. But this is anicca, it's not really important. Just to mention it, just to let you know. Eli Hassan, Kanajan, my heart still beats such speed and quick when you asked whether to continue or stop. I remembered what I heard and as I ever heard. When Buddha repeated 3 times to Ananda, please Ajahn, keep on teaching us. Thank you. You're welcome. Because I want to teach, because it is useful. If I'm just redundant and doesn't do any good for you, then what's the point of teaching, right? Bilim Sukhi Hotu Pante Satu Satu. We on meditation. Yesterday the picture is very clear. Thank you. The rain has subsided now, so the sound is becoming less and less. So I don't have to speak as loud as before to compete with the sound of the rain. We still have about 10 minutes left, so you can still send in your question. If my answer isn't clear, you can repeat the question again. Don't hesitate. Don't feel that you are bothering me. Sometimes my explanation might not clear enough to you, so you can repeat the question again or ask which point you want me to clarify. I'm here to clarify the teaching of the Buddha, because what you read in the text doesn't tell you when and how, where and when to do the practice. Like the 4 foundation of mindfulness, it deals with a lot of different practices, and you don't do them all at the same time. You have to do them one at a time, one step at a time. Like first developing mindfulness, and then sit in meditation, then and get into jhana. before you can go to contemplation of the body, the feeling, and the mental states. But if you read the text alone, you won't understand this because it doesn't say when to do what. But it's in pretty good order though. The Buddha said the first thing you should do is go sit under a tree and then meditate with anapanasati. And when you get out of that, your meditation, continue on with your mindfulness practice by being mindful of your body movement. These are the two practices that you start doing until you gain proficiency, until you can enter into jhana anytime. Then after that, then you can start contemplating on the nature of the body first. And then after you have understood the nature and have let go of your attachment to the body, then you contemplate on the nature of feelings. And when you have understood the nature of feeling and let go of your attachment, then you contemplate on the nature of the mental states. These are things that you have to do in order, not just any way you like. Bilin Sukihotu Pante Albert No Lau Satu Satu James Ong James Wu Satu Terry Shi. Dear Tanajan, what can one do when the body is too rigid? Knee hurts a lot while sitting meditation. Should one exert or how should one observe the intense pain? If you are in the process of dealing with pain, then you just have to ignore the pain of the body and just keep concentrating your mind on a mantra or on your object of meditation. Ignore the pain, leave the pain alone. You want to train the mind to be able to accept and live with the pain. But under normal circumstances, then you should alleviate your pain when the painful body feeling happens. It's only when you want to train your mind to live with the pain, then you have to leave the pain alone. But once you know how to live with the pain, and should your body have any painful feeling, you can lessen it or eliminate it by changing your position or use some type of medication. But otherwise, if you are practicing to understand the nature of feeling and let go of the nature of feeling, then you have to leave the painful feeling alone. Until you find that you can live with any type of painful feeling, then you don't have to do it anymore. You only do it until your mind understands and let go of your attachment to this or aversion to this painful feeling. Once you have no aversion to painful feeling, then there's no need to do this practice anymore. Bruce Lee, dear John, you have been teaching Dhamma for decades, and I believe in your expertise in measuring the effectiveness of a session. Thank you very much for your kindness in responding the world. May the Sasana last for long. You're welcome. Juliana Wu, today picture and sound very clear. Thank you. Dylan Elvis, Satu Satu Pante. Could you please explain the realm of existence? Doesn't it contradict with the concept of anicca? Please explain. Thank you, Pante. Satu Satu. Well, see, the concept of anicca has two different meanings. One meaning is change. Things keep changing. And another meaning is temporary. One thing appears and then changes into something else. This is also considered anicca. It doesn't mean that things will disappear into emptiness. Nothing disappear into emptiness. Everything remains in one form or another. Like the body, when the body dies, then the body decomposes and change into the four elements. So it doesn't mean that when the body dies, it disappears into emptiness. It just changes into the four elements. So this is what anicca means. So you have to understand, such as the realm of existence. Those who appear in this realm of existence also appear there temporarily. Then after a certain length of time, they will then change and move into a different realm of existence. It depends on the karma that you perform, which will send you to different level or realms of existence. And then after you have remained in that realm of existence for a certain length of time, you will also change again. And like being born a human, after so many years, the body will die. Then your mind will then move into a different realm of existence. So I just keep moving back and forth, up and down, due to the nature of karma that you perform. The only way to reach the place where there is no change is Nibbana. Once your mind has reached Nibbana, then the mind remains in Nibbana forever. No change forever. No anicca forever. Chaya CH Prajan, if I still feel sensation, after meditating, like swaying motion, is it because I don't have enough mindfulness while meditating? Yes, and not enough mindfulness after your meditation. So you have to maintain mindfulness all the time, before, during, and after meditation. Then everything will become normal. If your sitting meditation is not good, then you should do walking meditation first. Sometimes when you sit, you can lose mindfulness easily. So do walking meditation first to maintain strong mindfulness before you sit in meditation. Shelly Stino, Satu Ajan. Okay. We have about 2.5 minutes left, so please don't send in any new question. If you are typing your question now, you can continue on typing and send it in. But if you haven't started, please wait until next time, because we are running out of time. Ronnie Carlson, good morning, Tanajan. I suffer from heart rhythm disturbances. Atrial fibrillation, and it is very disturbing. When this happens, about 2 times a week. When meditating, and also to be mindful during this period is great. And it's also fearful sometimes. Do Tajan have any recommendation for me on this? Thank you, Satu. You just have to accept your situation. Then you will not be stressful. Just accept the state of being of the body. That this is the way the body is. It can be well and it can be sick. So you have to learn to live with the sickness. If you can accept the sickness, then you won't have any stress in your mind. Jenny Chu, Satu Satu. Terry Shi, Satu, and thank you, Tanajan. Catherine Wing, Satu Satu. Eli Hassan, Ajan, last Sunday I went to one place, little bit isolated, far from city, entered to kind of a forest, 1/2 hour, cross a river, has no road to get through, on road to the location, and spend a night and experience contemplating a wish of just kind of green, easy to say, really hard to do. Ajahn, right after learning, need to get an exam to see the truth. Satu, Satu. You're welcome. Morning Star, does moving body slowly helpful for developing mindfulness? It depends. If you find it's helpful, it's helpful. If it's not, it depends on how strong your mindfulness is. The stronger your mindfulness is, then there is less need for you to move slowly. But if your mindfulness is still weak, you might use slow movement to help you develop more stronger mindfulness. But in daily life, sometimes you cannot do that. You have to do things normally. So I think if you have enough mindfulness, you don't have to slow down your movement. You can leave the movement at a normal pace. I plan to spend a whole day for meditation retreat by following your instruction. Do I need to move slowly? You have to try it out for yourself. In my opinion, you don't need to. You can just move your body normally. But if you find moving your body slowly, sometimes you can do that also. But when you have to do things, you don't do things slowly, you do things normally. In the past few decades ago, during meditation retreat, I was trained to move very slowly in order to develop mindfulness. It was very, very helpful for me. Anyhow, in my opinion, it's not always practical to do slow all the time. I also don't think that be aware of bodily movement at the normal performance speed cause any harm to mindfulness practice. Monks who go for arms round certainly cannot move slowly while crossing the road. Please kindly give some advice. I just gave you that advice. So you don't need to move slowly unless you really wanted to, and if you have the time or the situation that allows you to do slow movement. But you should do normal movement when you do your daily activity. Your mindfulness can be strong enough to follow your movement, so don't worry. Angel Pui, hello Pajan, I wish you good health and thank you to teach me. You're welcome. Liu Nimalo, Big Heart, Mei Ui, Satu Satu. Dylan, always thank you for your explanation Monday. Satu Satu. Chaya, thanks so much for your time and kindness, Prajan. We're deeply grateful for your teaching and advice. Well, looks like that's about all the time I have for today. Thank you very much for your participation in this Q&A meeting. I hope it is useful and helpful to your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing the Dhamma teaching. And if all goes well, I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye for now.